And we are back, and guys, I know we were at the break, but believe it or not, me and JCap fought bears and space pirates in the middle of all this. The craziness was unbelievable, but guess what? We're actually back in game, so
you
didn't
were
miss
playing
much.
Hearthstone during the break?
Just a little bit. I don't get nearly as mad as Hex does, though. Hex actually, I think, loses faith in humanity with every card he draws in Hearthstone. It's true.
Yep.
You've seen him play Hearthstone. You know I'm not kidding.
Yeah. I just don't want to say something that could be seen as bad.
What, that he plays Warlock or something along those lines?
No, I don't even know what that is. I don't play Hearthstone. Anyways, let's just move to the game before I say something that he hates me for the rest of my life for. We do have, let's see, on the defense, standard, except we're using the Rhine instead of the Orisa. So it's the Rhine Zarya instead of the Orisa Diva. So they want to hold from ground. Up against, well, we don't know yet. We've seen Guru playing a lot of Zarya, Ace of Spades on like Reinhardt. We've seen Far and Boostia really pop up with the Pharah and the Hanzo. And I would imagine, actually, they actually could be keeping this. They could be keeping the Moira and the Lucio together. Trying to go for speed comp in.
It's likely. It's hard to say because obviously they're changing things up. And nope, they're going to be changing things up once more, going a little bit more tank heavy with the Mercy backing up. And the X factor for me here is going to be Poise and seeing if Poise can continue his improvement, this time on the Widowmaker.
And far into this, though, is going to be really crazily hard.
Oh.
I mean, if Poise can hit these shots, which I think he already tagged Far there, didn't get the kill, but he's keeping him in check at least. But no,
He's
Far
hitting
played
everything but the head, but guess what? He then pops over. That's going to be a headshot. Poise starting things off a little bit slow, but finishes strong. And now NRG gets the first benefit of defense here as the attackers of Karasuno have to regroup.
Yeah, and you can see that Stratus off to the side. The Hanzo is trying to go like head to head against Boostio. He's trying to provide damage from the left-hand side, where Poise is a little bit further away from him to again have like these different angles. And this Reinhardt shield, which is this massive rectangle, isn't really providing the cover that some players need for this attack to work. They've already lost a minute of time and they haven't even officially gone for a real attack.
Oh. Well, Poise was playing a little bit risky there, decided he didn't need to be behind the shield, challenged the other Widow and lost. That's a resurrection can be used early, but Stratus with the dragon pierces on through. Poise gets a salty run back, and NRG gonna pretty easily get this here as the Frog King tried to do a little bit of battle mercy at the end.
That really sucks for them. Like, if you think about it, they wasted now, what, a minute and... Wait, how much before?
A minute and a
minute and a half. There we go. Let's see if you can do math on there. I can't.
Math!
A minute and a half of time, and they haven't really gotten a successful attack off, or even haven't gone for a real attack. Finally, now they're gonna have their first one going. But Poise has already picked off 2 people.
They picked off Swan.
Another.
Swan wasn't res, so they're still down to Reinhardt right now on the defense. But NRGs are getting invested Transcendence through most of the Graviton, so the Graviton does not get what they're looking for. Swan gets a fire strike from downtown, and NRG still gonna hold, and Karasuno not really getting much of anything done here as 2 minutes have left the clock. Smex once more being the anchor for NRG.
Yep, this is like the worst start ever. Like they keep getting caught, they keep getting picked. You cannot allow Stratus and Poise to keep hitting shots like this. You need to sit behind your shield. Because what, like half the time that you've engaged now, you've been down a man. They need to stop allowing this to happen.
Smex holding on to the grab, just going to take a few steps back here. Might be using the grab against the building. I think that's what he's going for. Holding on to it. The Dragon comes up first from the offense. The defense goes away, and that's a grab. Pulls in everyone. A Dragon on the other side, and the Transcendence not enough to save people. Too much damage coming in as Smex once more sets up NRG really well.
Even Fox get aggressive with his Battle Mercy. Does go back to the res zone of Stratus, trying to play smart about this one. A minute left to go, like you mentioned. An Ace of Spades is going to have a shatter, but so does Swan. Poise has vision, which allows Stratus to hit even easier shots. They've switched things up to Guru playing on the Brigitte, but they're not even being given the opportunity to use the Brigitte because, you know what, they die before they get there again. They lose 2 people, and they haven't had a successful attack again.
I think the key word here is that they're getting split off and scattered in every fight. Part of that is Poise, but part of that is Karasuno just not going in together in the right way, and NRG is punishing them with style as Stratus. I don't know if he knows what the retreat button might be, and oh, guess what? That's how you end up falling.
That's his retreat button, is dying, going back to spawn or being res.
Well, he was able to get res, but that is a resurrection gone. They're not going to have that there anymore. And Boostio now is a great pick opportunity to get a permanent pick off.
from what he's looking for, but he's still low on health. He's got to be very careful to actually not get picked off himself. We're going to see Shatter be Shatter coming in here. That's going to be a Dragon Check again. Takes down Ace of Spades with the help of Smex, and they have no opportunity to hit a Shatter. Swan can get a massive fatty Shatty. He only gets 2. But it's still fatty in my book. 10 seconds left to go, and they have to rush to the point now.
NRG just mopping up Karasuno as they throw their bodies at the point, and Stress is happy to send them back the other way. Now Stress did just end up dying there. Fozix, oh, his resurrection's back up. The time is over, and NRG just makes this look easy as Karasuno just didn't really have a convincing push at any point in that entire round.
They touched the point, though, at once, right? They actually
Maybe.
physically had a body on the point at one point in that round, right?
It's hard to say. I mean, we're going to have to go back to the cameras, get some slow motion video on it, see if the Reinhardt's
Check the
foot
goal
ever
line.
touched a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Either way,
that-
it was not a very convincing offense, to put it mildly. And part of that is that Poise and Stratus were in full control, but also beyond that, I'd say the MVP was Smex, where we talked a lot about Zarya on the defense for Kings Row for NRG in the last set we saw NRG playing, but Smex has just been unbelievable so far.
I'm really confused. It's like watching me play ranked. I'm not even gonna say what SR I am because I don't want to like disrespect the Karasuno guys, but just they constantly got picked. Like, let's just say they had 5 attacks in general. 4 of them were someone being picked before they actually got around the corner to make the push happen. And I mean, you could say that that's just misplays out of Karasuno, but at the same time, you could say that Stratus and Poise played really well. So I guess it's a little column A, maybe a little bit column B, but that can't happen. Not at this kind of level. You need to be able to, like, even to make that transition around the map.
And now you think about what that offensive performance or lack thereof from Karasuno means for their defense, where their defense now has to be just as formidable. They cannot give up a single tick here on the point. And that means that any pickoff from Poise or Stress early on could be enough to end it the other way. Now, one thing to know on the offense might be looking to be pretty divey for a double sniper offense, and no, never mind. Fozix swapped to Mercy, so debated once more. And NRG, why would you really need to change much up here?
If it ain't broke, why try to fix it? I would imagine they should go straight through Hotel, or maybe go in directly under them and try to dislodge them from that position. They have so many different avenues to actually make this attack work. And it looks like they will go towards the Hotel's this direction, which allows Poise or Stratus to play with these really off angles to look for these one-on-one battles.
I think Poise is triggering me right now. I know he's spamming right-click in order to get into scope earlier, but man, just watching him triggers me just a bit. But Smex already gonna get demeched early on. Poise not getting too much off the flip side. Was looking for Orisa, but defense here coming in from Karasuno actually pretty formidable. Stratus got Guru on the other side, and that can be big. Now you're down to Diva, you have less control, and Stratus off the end, the double threat to Far. Suddenly things are looking pretty difficult for the Grizzlies.
Those dominoes are falling. Honestly, yeah, they went back to Res Guru, and he does get remeched, but in the midst of that, Far has fallen. They don't have another Res. Now they have, most importantly, Rob set up on the high ground with the Smex there to protect him, so he gets so much free angles, so much free damage to actually use. And a Dragon Strike will be used out of Boostio to kind of dislodge them, but Swan jumped straight into it, and now another Dragon coming out to lock down the main entrance. I'm not sure what the hell's going on here, ZP, but it looks like it's going the way of NRG.
It's slowly going the way of NRG. It's a few ultimates coming off without anyone clearly coming ahead, but NRG, they're getting enough kills back and forth. They're slowly winning the war of attrition. Their spawn point is sooner, and Stratus, an easy 2 pickoffs towards the end, and that's all she's going to write here is NRG coming in style, taking Kings Row rather easily.
I mean, it's hard fought for him. Give him credit to really defend that first point so well. Looks like we'll be going over to East server next. This was West Coast, so the 2 Koreans for them are going to be pretty happy about that. As I see Stratus, well, he's dead.
A
Yeah,
little
nice
bit
Dragon
of
Strike
decision there. Tifa going, yeah, East next. Wait, yeah, East next. So that actually could be a bit of a problem for NRG, to put it mildly, where we've seen Poise on East Coast servers before towards the latter end of Contenders, and it wasn't good. I think Poise ended up like dying as Tracer first fight 4 times in a row on every map that was East Coast.
To be fair to maybe not necessarily the results that he's had there, but when I was watching scrims with them, they were forcing East server themselves, even though they could have played West, and they were actually like their opponent to say, "Do you guys want West? You know, to make it better, or to, you know, for the players." And they said, no, just keep it East. So they've been training him to play on East, him and Swan, previously known as Butcher, to make sure to do that. Because when it comes to tournament time, you don't have the luxury of always playing on a West Coast server. Sometimes you got to play East, you got to play with higher ping. The shots Poise has been able to hit so far with the low ping playing West Coast has been fantastic, but he's got to be able to transition that and transfer that over to an East Coast server.
Well, I do think that's smart for NRG if that is how they've been preparing, because that was an Achilles heel in the past. And certainly it could be an Achilles heel into the future as you look towards what could happen in a new contender season. But I do think Karasuno might have a bit of an edge here on the DM side, but I'm willing to be surprised. If Poise can come out and lay down a huge game while dealing with what has to be 200 ping or more, I mean, that says a lot about him as a player.
And going on to like a very skirmishy map too, where you need to have that good reaction time, you need to be able to hit a lot of these shots that can be very difficult. I think they can do it from like scrim results. I have them like considered as one of the teams to be at the tournament, so I definitely don't deny that they could do it here.
All right, 22 seconds here until we'll see just what heroes people are gonna commit to. And now, well, this might be commentary on Hanzo one way or another, but Poise is going to Hanzo, where sometimes you just want to shoot some logs at people, even with a little bit of a higher ping. Why not?
What?
Are you just getting fully distracted by the chat and the fact that someone hated on black olives? Which, by the way, I think black olives are a great pizza topping. But let me trigger chat here. You know what else is a great pizza topping?
Pineapples.
I wasn't even going for pineapple. No. Mushrooms. I'm going that way
yeah,
because
mushrooms are amazing on pizza.
mushrooms
So is
are
pineapple.
amazing. But there's a contingent of people who are wrong, by the way, that think mushrooms are good or that mushrooms are not good. Mushrooms are great.
They're probably the same people who think pineapples don't belong on pizza, and they're all wrong. I can't. They're like flat earthers, I swear.
Let's cross the street. Let's have a mushroom pineapple pizza. A little bit of pepperoni. But now we're getting started here. NRG taking to the skies. And it's Stratus right now, laying in that poke damage early on as the rest of NRG is pretty aggressively following it up. Ace of Spades already quite low, and he's down. Poise finishes him off.
They had the speed. I think they had the speed to finish getting out. I think they used the Lucio like little trick to make sure the team got there in time. Just a little bit ahead of their opponents. Boost just kind of by himself. He's locked off in a corner. He's got to run away or die. One of the two. I think he actually tagged Stratus. Yeah, he did with the Sonic Arrow. So they know exactly where the team is going to be around him. But eventually he will fall, and they get the early control here. Remember, playing on higher ping, you really have to pay attention to Poise and to Swan.
For now, it works out for NRG. And hey, if you could take that first fight, who knows where this is going to go. It could be a very quick matchup here in Lijiang.
Sorry, it is Butcher in the team house. Just Poise who's not. I thought Swan wasn't there either, but it's just Poise.
Yeah, Poise is a recent add, so it'd be a little bit longer for him to get over to the DC area. But Poise gets Guru. Don't tell him he is high ping because he just sent an arrow right to Guru in the midsection. Stratus in the sky, not like too much here in the beginning, but you see that the offense here has to back out as NRG already about to be at a near free 33%.
Again, Poise is just picking off people before they can get set up for an attack. Like they have to deal with this. Like they have the ping advantage now. They have him on higher ping, and yet they're still struggling to get the fight that they want. And not even to get the fight they want, just to get a fight, a team fight going, where they have equal men on the start.
Stratus looking for Far, moving up. Not going to finish him off here just yet, but is about to get that barrage. He can just drop on down. There's a graviton. The barrage over the top. Ace of Spades are out of there. And NRG continuing the relentless assault here on the top. Farah, down she goes, and NRG hasn't really been challenged here so far.
It's a good conk blast by Far, but it did cost him his life. He actually knocked Kha'Zix away from Swan, so he couldn't get the res, but then he died thereafter, so it's really not going to give you that much more time. It actually kind of punishes you for that. 75% in climbing now for NRG. They're already up one map. It's only a best of 3. And Swan has a shatter ready to go. Ace of Spades still has yet to get his. Swan's looking for it, but Far gets the kill on Stratus.
Far with the salty run back. Now can go back the other way. Barrage locked and loaded. Karasuno's best attempt hit. And this is going to be a barrage right to the back line. Deletes Kha'Zix. Doesn't matter. The Transcendence was there. There's a little bit more damage on the flip side as Karasuno now with their best opportunity to turn their fortunes around here in this round.
All right, so they finally get the control. They finally get the fight that they wanted. They finally get engaged without losing this one off the bat. So Poise, how dare you miss your shots? I mean, you can't depend on a Hanzo to always get kills like that, like he's been doing for 1.5 maps so far. But they have the grab, they have the Dragon Strike. They have the combo to set up an easy fight here. They have the vision as well with, I think, Boost should get a Sonic Arrow into about 3 or 4 of them. And with them locked on the high ground, this is an easy grab. It's almost an easy decision to go for, but they're being back-capped.
Oh, yeah, it's easy if you actually get on the point. Karasuno gonna have to back out, and that distraction doesn't let them get the easiest of grabs, but it's still effective. 2 people down, hard to come back from that. Although, guess what? Poison Rob on the flip side, they're saying, yeah, actually, on the other side, we can actually do this, as NRG is still in this fight. Karasuno, though, with Guru being fully charged, fighting back the other way, buying time. An extended fight is actually quite good for them here if they can hold out just a little bit longer.
Stratus and Far gonna trade kills between each other. Graviton's almost there for Smex. They have a Dragon Strike ready to go too. The Vision's being given there. Poison's joined the party yet again. They're just looking for a little bit more energy, a little bit more time. 99% and counting, and this should be the fight. Almost the first point done. The Shatter gets interrupted. Ace of Spades goes down in the midst of that. He doesn't even get any connection with that one, and the Graviton most certainly gonna be coming in a second if they need it.
Karasuno unable to withstand full power in from NRG, and a finishing Graviton just for good measure. Overtime ticks away, and NRG one more round away from taking this series.
You know, it's kind of unfortunate that this night's been gone by so quickly. Remember, we had 6 best of 3s and a best of 5 to come your way today, and yet we're almost at the last game. But it kind of shows that some teams are able to adapt to the meta quicker and figure out what works really well and what does not work well. Even though like the picks haven't been like drastically different between the 2 teams, but the way they're playing the picks has been completely different, where Poise has been hitting a lot of these off angles and hitting a lot of these clutch shots.
All of that is very accurate, but let me take this moment to make you hungry here, Jason, is that we could end so early today that I'd have time to order takeout that would include cheesy bread with ranch dressing on the side.
I hate you. Ranch dressing doesn't exist in Europe.
I know, and that's why I'm mentioning that whenever I eat after this is going to have ranch dressing. Even a salad can have the true taste of America. This Poise right now is going to count on the side here, on the left, looking for like pickoff. Stratus already found Edan, and Guru falls. Don't tell Poise he has high ping as he makes it a double, almost a triple. NRG easily getting through here to this first point.
Sorry, saying Poise supersized that play?
Oh, he supersized it. For all of, like, what is the cost of that? 49 cents, 59? I don't know. Either way, you get a whole lot of fries.
Just to quickly, you know, pop in on this, like, a small in the US for a drink is a large in Germany.
And we get unlimited refills.
And probably have a higher diabetes rate than any other country in the world.
Yay! Well, whatever. Poise is on the right side now. He was on left before, now he's on right. Looking to get on the Mercy or the opposing Widow. And you know his recon site, he's not getting what he wants here because that rock just in his way. And, well, Ace of Spades went in on him and probably wish he didn't. Discord orbs and down as Poise strikes again. With heat and down, it's going to be NRG holding firm.
He will eventually fall to Far, who's kind of pushed up by himself, but Fazik's going to be there to go for the res. They want the re-kill, but a good dodge out of Fazix, even though he's not really mobile. And they know that he has no real ability to get away anymore because he used it to get closer. And look at that, able to snowball the fight again. That should have just been a hard disengagement. Now they've lost another 20, 30 seconds of time. I'm not sure like necessarily what the calls going inside of Karasuno, but there's definitely like, how do I say it kindly? There's definitely something missing at the moment of these losing people when they don't need to, and it's causing them to delay so much time.
They're getting out engaged, pure and simple. And by the way, blast from the past, don't forget that Optic Gaming used to be known as Chicken Ranch Pizza. Karasuno now moving on to the point as I attempt to trigger Jason, but Hedan's already down. Boostio looking for anything. Gonna activate Storm Arrows, but there's a Zenyatta Trid setting in your face. Where you're gonna go? You're gonna look to the rain as Stratus takes down 3. No mercy here for Karasuno. Of course, the mercy died, but also under the alternate meaning as Stratus continues just laying it on in.
Oh god, this is going to delay them even further. Oh, he almost got a kill with that, actually. Suspects to get the resuit in. Far gets a kill to Poise, so maybe this opportunity they need to get to touch the point. 10 seconds left to go. They should be able to touch it no matter what. Question is, can they take the point back away from them?
Not looking likely right now. Poise, though, as soon as he's res, he's brought back down. Far hitting the well once more, but Stratus untouched right now. Point blank rockets not able to finish off Mercy. It's gonna be Smex finishing that play to Stratus. Rocket after rocket hitting its mark on the other end. NRG on the verge of a very quick 2-0 over Karasuno. And Guru gonna be falling here on the point. Gets the self-destruct out, but unable to get away. And sure, you might have gone spawn, but such an edge right now for NRG, and that's gonna be just about enough. Last remnant's coming in, last remnant's going down. NRG in overtime. That's going to be it. They take the series with ease.
You gotta be a little frustrated if you're far there, just because he killed Poise twice, and they still couldn't take the point. That's gotta be so frustrating because Poise is the one that's always given them the trouble in the series so far. But either way, yeah, energy. It was one-sided. It was well deserved. They definitely proved to be the other team. I don't know how I felt this play of the game, but you know, you gotta give Winston some love once in a while.
Just a bit. And hey, the upside of us getting through this series quickly is that in the break, I still have a little bit of leftover pizza. And I'll say what the topping choice is here, so chat can judge me. It is pepperoni and jalapeno. A good option, I feel like.
It's called a Diavolo, pizza Diavolo, I think it is in Germany.
I have no idea what that is.
It's pepperoni or salami and jalapenos.
Not bad. Salami is within the pepperoni families, or perhaps vice versa. But look, we don't have to worry about which came first between the pepperoni and the salami. What we have to worry about is our upcoming matchup here, which I believe is going to be Envision versus NRG, and that's a classic.
Oh. Sorry, no, yes it is. I just got informed from Graceful that Graceful are a full Danish team. I didn't know that. Wait, how are they full Danish? Graceful's Swedish. I don't know. Anyways, yeah,
I can't contemplate these matters. You've brought this up.